This is Natasha, and she started her dream business with just a couple dollars in her home kitchen.
Natasha went from an idea in her head to putting it on shelves and making it real.
2 years later, her products are stocked in stores across the country. This is the story of how 3 lessons transformed Natasha Arumbi's last dollars into a $2 million business.
I am Natasha Arumbi, aka the Vegan Patty Lady, and my dream is to take vegan patties to the world.
We first met Natasha when she pitched at the Help Bank Doorbell, a place where anyone can pitch their dream, and if it's good, we help make it happen.
So I made the decision to pitch to Help Bank because I knew that I couldn't scale on my own. I needed some help with marketing. I've been doing it in my kitchen at home. I was selling 3 mini cocktail patties for £6, but they were starting to become popular, and yeah, I knew that there was something in it at that point.
She still had a full-time job and nowhere near the space she needed to scale. She needed capital. But before I invested anything, I needed to see that she was all in.
See if Natasha has what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur, and set her a crazy challenge to make the world's largest vegan patty.
If she could pull this off, it would show me she was willing to fight for her dream, and that's the kind of person I want to invest in.
Obviously, I'd never ever made a patty before June, and then to come in November and say, I'm going to make the world's biggest. I was scaling it in my head, using that machine, that big dough machine. I'd never seen anything like that in my entire life.
We set her this challenge to see if she could go all in, and to see if those closest to her were ready to go all in alongside her.
There's not many people like Tasha in terms of personalities. It's like sometimes she wants to run before she can walk, and so sometimes that means that you just don't want to be throwing money. Where's it going to go to, and what's that going to lead to?
Yes, it's here.
Natasha followed through on her word and completed the challenge successfully.
Everybody liked it. People were coming back for seconds.
Natasha needed about £10,000 to get her business running. I was ready to put in 5, but I didn't want to be the only one who believed in her dream.
Actually, you're not allowed to be here, I've just decided.
Oh!
I want to talk to him on my own. You have to go away, you have to go away.
I'll carry on cleaning up, Patty. All right then. Bye.
If this dream was going to work, the people around her had to believe too, especially the one closest to her husband.
It's not easy giving up money to back a dream that may or may not happen.
I was wondering what that conversation was about, and I was like, good luck with that, mate, because I know my husband. If you can convince him, you are a better man than me.
I feel like when I talk to her that she needs investment to make the business go to the next level, but she's scared to spend the savings you've got. Here's my deal. She needs £10,000 to make this business work. If you put £5,000 in, I'll put £5,000 in. I want nothing in return.
I sort of had an inkling that was going to happen, to be perfectly honest. My hesitation at that moment was just like, in my head, it's because we've been saving for a deposit for a house. I'm like, oh, this is going to put us back, and it's a case of one step backward, 2 steps forward.
Deal? Yes, it's a deal.
Yeah, it's only money. It's only money. If it takes £5,000 for my wife to follow her dream, then that's life.
Me and your husband were chatting, so between the two of us, I'm giving £5,000, your husband's giving £5,000. We'd like to make your business real.
I was not expecting that. I thought Simon would give me something, but not as much as he did. So I was like, I've got 10K now. I can do everything that I need to do. So yeah, that was amazing.
After the challenge, Natasha finally had what she needed, £10,000, enough to buy what she needed for her business to scale.
My local shop had told me, if you can get packaging, I will sell them here. And so I was like, I need packaging. Immediately, I went to get a designer to do the boxes.
Getting investment is like any sales process. You've got to push every button, go to every single opportunity and ask around, and Natasha did it.
I am so excited. I've just had the best meeting. The second investment was the pitch to Dean Forbes. That was a competition that we won. It's not just a nice idea, this is a good business idea. Clearly they felt so too, because I won that £20,000, which was huge.
Natasha had just raised another £20,000 for her business, but she'd still have to push hard to turn that money into real growth.
So I have been going to networking events, like every time somebody says it's an event and buyers are going to be there, I'm like, oh, I'm coming. So that has been a massive part, and One said event, I actually was sponsoring the event, and the Ocado buyer tasted the paste and she said, these are amazing. It was not long after that it was, all roads lead to Ocado shelves.
This was a huge deal. Natasha had just gotten into Ocado, which is basically the UK's Amazon for groceries. But that win came with a catch. She now had to fulfill thousands of orders by hand, and the money she'd raised was disappearing fast.
It was very nerve-wracking.
We couldn't keep up with demand. The Ocado order was huge, and the amount of workload, I had no idea what it would yield. I am working full-time. I have to make patties after work, and my job is not a play job. It's a serious, proper job. I can't coast in my job. Sometimes I do 17-hour shifts in the kitchen, like sometimes I don't eat. And because I was the only one who'd ever made the patties, everybody that I was getting to help me has no idea how to make patty. They're not skilled at it. They haven't been trained. So I would often have to leave the room and go and cry because I didn't want them to think I was mad with them. It became a really tough gig.
If you want to make your dream happen, you have to push through the pain, because success doesn't just test your idea, it tests you.
I've grown up in church. Church is all I knew. I think I've been to 2 parties, but I didn't know God then how I know God now. I think when I was in that space those years ago, I was tired when I came home. I was frustrated, but I think because I always had in my mind something is going to shift. I know it's going to, I don't know what it is, but we're not going to stay here. There was always an element of excitement. I think otherwise you'd end up depressed, and I've never got to depression. So I'm always like, do you know what? Something gonna happen, and that's how I live my life. I think belief is absolutely fundamental to my journey. I don't think I would have got to this point without believing it was possible. You act based on what you believe is possible. That's why I am now here today in this position, being able to leave my job and have a future that is going to be beyond conceivably, anything I could have asked or imagined. I believe this is an assignment. It's the biggest issue now is people want it, and I can't do it on my own. I need machines, and I need a place big enough to store the machines. I can't afford to pay people to help me. So that's a big kind of hurdle that right now I'm just riding.
At this point, Natasha was in talks with a major distributor, discussing a deal that could change her life. And with that opportunity on the table, her business was now valued in the 7 figures.
That investment would be the missing piece from struggling, just trying to make it do, to actually having a business that can now generate enough wealth and profit to explode.
Today, she's raising $200,000 at a $2 million valuation. Proof that when you commit fully, keep pushing and believing in yourself, you can build anything.